it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Guess what time it is? It is time for our weekly roundup where I go over all of the eyeshadow palettes I used over the past week and I rank them from least liked to most liked. I also base it on the looks that I did. Anyway, I have 7 slots today and quite a few palettes because I combined a lot. I've really been in that mode of making sure I'm combining palettes and using all of them. Oh, sorry. G is in Nigeria visiting fam and he just messaged me and I had to respond. Anyway, okay, so I have 7 slots and I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. At number 7, I have 2 palettes from Natasha Denona. The first one is the Retro palette. Love, love, love. And the second one is her My Dream palette. Now, I paired these because I felt like it, but also these are 2 of the ones I like a lot more in terms of her most recent, I guess, releases. Were these 2 years ago? 3 years? I don't know. Now, what I like about these palettes, I like the color stories. I feel like these are ones that were definitely made for deeper skin tones, and I like the formula. Now, her newer palettes, as far as I can see, they have a bit of a different formula in terms of the shimmers. I find the shimmers in the newer ones are more like toppers, and I prefer more opacity. So these 2, maybe the Yucca palette, I don't know. Have I gotten anything from Natasha Denona in the past year? I don't even know. But I did get the I Need a Nude and I realized I don't need that nude and I decluttered it. I just did not like that palette. I just felt it was like really ashy on me. I think it looks so beautiful on lighter skin tones, but once you hit a certain like depth of or amount of melanin, I don't think it performs as well. Was it last year? When did that come out? I'm not sure, but I do remember being able to finally create a look that I really liked. I used, I believe, the NYX glitter glue and then popped on the shimmers. They're like toppers, and I really liked it. But it was just a little bit more work than I wanted to do, especially when I have so many of her other palettes that I really like. So this was number 7. Just a really simple look with these 2. I think they go really well together. Number 6 was a similar look, actually, and I used the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 2 palette. I really wanted to focus on using one of the cream shades, so I used this one, and then I went in with some shimmers, and it looked really pretty. It lasted all day. It was, like I said, very similar to the Natasha Denona look that I did. Now, overall, I thought I would like this brand more than I do. It's like okay for me. It's very mid, as the kids would say. I've tried only this palette as well as like 3 of the blushes, 2-3 years ago. I don't know. What is time? It's a construct. And it's just okay. I could see why people like some of the stuff because it's very, just like your basic, everyday stuff that you can use all the time. And I do think everything is pretty. The packaging is pretty besides like messing it up with your fingerprints. But I just find that I like other brands a bit more. And I use other brands a lot more. This is one that I have not used a ton. I'm going to keep using it, of course, because I purchased it. And I do like it. It's just if I'm going for a look like this with this color story, I'm often like going towards other palettes or brands that I already have. Videos and videos and videos ago, I did compare this palette with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette. And I really like that one. And I think they each gave their own, I don't know what this is, but they each gave their own this. And so I liked both for different reasons, but I think I was leaning a bit more towards liking the Charlotte Tilbury, just a little bit more. But yes, that was number 6, just kind of your simple, classic mauve look for work. Number 5, I'm going to let you guess who is there. You probably have like 2 brands or people that you think could be in this slot. Yes, Danessa Myricks. It's like 1 month until Jess and I see her, and I cannot. Okay, so for number 5, I am putting the the Groundwork Original, the Defining Neutrals palette, along with the Groundwork Blooming Romance palette. So I've been consistently using both of these, especially this one since I got it. Whenever I get a Groundwork palette, there's only 2 of them, but I find that I have to be sure to like put it down and use other things. But I love pairing these together. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the trip to New York. I don't know if I'm gonna just take everything Danessa that I have or what. I might. But I like using both of these. If you are into pink and mauve, you're going to love the Blooming Romance. If you do not mind working with a different type of formula. This is not like an eyeshadow palette. This is an eyes, lips, cheeks. What else is on our faces? Brows. Yeah, that is the palette. You cannot use this, in my opinion, like a regular eyeshadow palette, just because you have the pomades, and I think that takes a little bit of getting used to, and you also have the like powders to set the pomades. And so what I do think I like these Groundworks even more now that I have been putting the pomade down first and then putting the powder on top. For me, it really seems like the powder just brings the color out more, but also it sets it. And so when I set it, it does not move. I keep saying that. So if you don't like pinks, mauves, if you don't like working with different formulas, playing with different formulas, and don't get it. Same essentially for the original Groundwork. This again is an all over palette. It is eyes, lips, brows. Why don't I know what's on my face? Yeah, all those things. I've used this for contour. I've used it for bronzer. I've even used some of the lighter shades for priming. And I love tourmaline, the black. I love it for eyeliner, and I really like Core for color corrector. Now, I have seen a couple of people be like, oh, it doesn't perform the way I want it to. And I really do think, one, if you're newer to makeup, then you might not want to spend your time kind of trying to learn how to use these. But 2, it's also, these are not eyeshadow palettes, or they're not just specifically eyeshadow palettes, you know what I mean? So I think you have to like playing around with different formulas. I like it. I like both. And if I didn't, I would totally tell you. I think the only like downside to the Blooming Romance is that you're going to get this in terms of color on your face, but I've also used it for blush and really liked it. And I did a collab with Julia from Accessorize Your Life, and we both use this palette. You definitely want to check her video out. I thought she did a lovely look, and the blush on her is amazing. Okay, so yeah, and there are Danessa Myricks products that I don't like, and I think that I have fully talked about those as well, like this Moisture Repair Balm Serum. It's okay, not something. It's, as well as the Water Powder Serum. I'm actually starting to like this more than I did when I, like, the first few times, the first like week that I was trying it. And there have been some of her other face products that I haven't liked, but so I'll tell you if I don't like something. But these two are bad mama jammas, okay? I like them both, and I'm gonna keep using them. All I need for her to do is to come out with some refills, because I'm starting to get scared, because I've hit pan on several shades in here, and I'm starting to get scared that I'm not gonna have refills, and I need them. Okay, so that was number 5. Number for another combo of palettes, and I used the Blend Bunny Blends palette. This is an all matte palette, and then I paired that with the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. I would say the Dollhouse is the one I use the least from the brand in terms of the palettes that I have, but I really love the shimmers that I picked out from here to blend with the blends. And the look I did was just very like boom pow, in your face, pinky kind of look going on. And the look was in a video in collaboration with Wilma Fingerdo Review. And I really enjoyed doing that and kind of doing something a bit more dramatic than well, is this dramatic? But doing something a bit more dramatic, especially in comparison to the more like subtle, softer look that I did with my collab with Julia, Accessorize Your Life, with the Danessa Myricks products. But this one was really fun to do. I really like the Blends palette, and it's just kind of like your, it has all the mattes that you would probably need, really and truly. And so it's kind of like a staple if you use the brand, if you want more colorful looks. Number 3. Now, I use the Nomad Royal Europe palette. I really like this palette. I think this one and the New Zealand Stargazing palette, those are the ones that I like the most, I would say. Let me show you that one if you don't have it. Yeah, so here is that one. I just like the colors in both of these. Are they similar? Let me see. Yeah, I guess they're kind of similar, right? So I might want to pair these two. Yeah, love it. Now, I was trying to do something different with this palette and look this time around because I tend to stick with things and I'm like, I like it, I love it, I'm gonna keep doing it. But I wanted to do something a little different and I loved it. I was like, I look super good. Okay, I really liked the look that I did. I liked my hair that day. I was just like, yes, good job, girl. So this was one that I really enjoyed. I always enjoyed this palette. I like the art on the front. Yeah, if you want to see someone who is just like ride or die for Nomad, head over to Jan's channel because she is. Now, number 2 is Adept Cosmetics, and it is their Cyborg Choir palette. This is a newer palette from them. I feel like I can't speak today. And I really like it. Now, most people are going to say the same thing that I'm going to say, which is I prefer their shimmers and multi-chromes much more than I do their mattes. Their mattes are just almost like throwaway, like, okay, girl, we'll need those, like, it's fine. What I do like is that these are magnetic pans and they do have the name of the shade on the back, I think. All the other ones do, so. Yeah, I really like the shimmers here. I think that is what I like most from Adept. Like, they're all like dual and multi-chromes and they just look so pretty on the eyes. And so I would definitely suggest them for their shimmers. Now, these are also a bit of a different formula. They are kind of like, almost like squishy, but some of them are like smooth, like almost like a smooth stone. If you have Adept palettes and you have a much better explanation, which you probably do, of the texture of the shades, please put it down in the comments, okay? But I really enjoyed this look and I always seem to enjoy the shimmers from Adept. But I'll also often pull in a matte from a different palette. The mattes are okay. I find that building them up is one of the best ways to put them on, and probably with a synthetic brush. Now at number 1, this was a super dramatic look for me kind of. Yeah, it was interesting. And it is the look I did for my Copy Kitty video with my good girlfriend Jan Van. So I just went in with basically almost all of the Cosmic Beauty, formerly Cosmic Brushes palettes that I have. So I'm gonna just show you. I think I used Serenity. I think I used this one. Honestly, I was just throwing these palettes on my eyes. I think I used Delicious Delights. Pretty sure I used Royal Rose. I might have used Winter Wonderland. I don't think I used Muse, and I definitely didn't use Gothic. But yeah, when I want a super colorful look, I most likely am going into my Cosmic Brushes palettes. What I love is that they are relatively affordable, especially compared to some of the other palettes I have. I think they end up being around $20, less than $30. So that's a lot more doable. What I like too is that they don't seem to just, I really like the color stories. So if I am wanting something really colorful, oftentimes I'm going into these palettes. And I actually like the Delicious Delights palette more than I thought. I thought this was going to come off more like pastel, but the shades really just pop. I feel like the formula is pretty solid, and I plan to continue to get their palettes. Like, what was the last one that came out? Winter Wonderland, but also Gothic, the all purple one. I was like so nervous that I wasn't going to be able to get it because yet and still they seem to like sell out so quickly. It's rather annoying. But yeah, whenever I want kind of like a fun look, I might go for most likely my Cosmic Brushes, now known as Cosmic Beauty palettes. Y'all, listen, I'm tired, but I am going to go to yoga tonight. There's a, what is it called? Deep Release and Sound Bath class, followed by a restorative yoga class. Let me tell you something. For the restorative, it's basically like you sleep. It's very much like you're asleep. And now I take an eye mask, some socks, a sweater, a blanket. I go prepared, okay? I take a big old bag. But that is like the best way to have your restorative yoga experience. And I cannot wait because it just really like makes me calm down, and then I can come home, get ready for bed, and just take my behind to sleep. Usually, sometimes, not always. Yeah, my sleep schedule is, it's not a personal choice. It's just, I need to get it together. Okay, guys. So, let me know what palettes you used over the past week or what you plan on using. I really, really love seeing what you all are using, and I need to get back. I need to challenge myself again to make sure to have a lot more singles in the upcoming week. I think I'll just do, I've done a week of singles before. I might do that, but I'm not making promises that I can't keep, so we'll see. Anyway, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.